One thing you should know about me is that I love animals. I grew up on a little hobby farm in the Midwest. And when I think of all the animals I have ever owned, it is a long list. And each of my animal companions has a personality and story I can connect to some moment of my life, some particular time and place. Even just calling that pet to mind brings back all sorts of memories of where I lived and who I was and who else loved this animal that I loved. And the story of that pet's passing, particularly the ones that had lived with us for 15 or 20 years. Each one I can distinctly remember how life changed after they were gone. There was a shift, things noticeably different after that without their presence. This says a lot, I think, about the place that animal companions have in our lives and our relationship to them. Right now at my house, we have 4 chickens, 3 Angora bunnies, and 1 very rambunctious puppy. Our little puppy, his name is Yanto. He actually got sick recently, and thankfully it turned out to be a manageable illness. But there was a time, for a while, when we were going back and forth to the emergency vet in Poulsbo and the emergency vet in Seattle, and where we thought we might lose him. And even though we only had him for a short time at that point, just a few months maybe, we couldn't imagine life without him. He had taken up room in our hearts immediately. And even more than that, we had taken on the responsibility for his life, keeping him well and cared for. It was so sacred to us, this responsibility, that we despaired at the thought of failing. And it reminded me of a moment toward the end of last summer when my son and I went to Battle Point Park on Bainbridge Island. And it was during the wildfires in British Columbia. And we watched as a huge flock of geese came down from the sky and landed in the pond at Battle Point. And my son said, "I wonder if they're here to escape the smoke." And then we watched as they washed themselves, bathing in that pond as I had never seen geese do before. They were going under the water and coming up and spinning around and then flapping their wings, slapping the water. They were getting themselves clean. Maybe they were trying to wash off all that smoke. In that moment, I was overcome with the sense that my life and their lives were intertwined. We were both affected by the changes in the climate around us, both responding in relationship to the planet and in relationship to one another as well. Well, I watched those geese and I thought, how do I hold all of this responsibility? There's something unique about being human. UUs call it the interdependent web. This is the whole of creation. And as humans, we hold a special place. We're both part of the interdependent web of life, and we have an enormous amount of control over it as well. We are of the earth and somehow separate. We are animals, part of the animal kingdom, top of the food chain, apparently. Some of us are carnivores. But we also have pets who exist just to share in love and companionship. We're connected to nature in this deeply spiritual way, a way that is only possible because we are a part of nature. But we also have the most power to do both harm and good. How do we participate in creation with integrity when we have such enormous power? Our beloved animals, whose precious lives rest in our hands, the earth and its wild creatures and wild spaces that we are tasked with protecting. Our love and attention can save all this creation and our disregard can doom it as well. This is our sacred relationship as humans, with our communities, with one another, and with all creatures, great and small. And so I want to acknowledge just one more thing in the sacredness of this connection with all of creation, animals, humanity, all our communities. We cannot escape the feeling right now of some measure of despair. For many of us, it has been a particularly tough week. And it is easy to look at the world around us and fear we might be powerless to protect those who need protection, to defend those who are in our care, to stay safe ourselves. So I think it is good to have a blessing today. May it inspire us to remember our connection to one another, with all creatures great and small. That there is something in that connection that is holy and sacred and bigger than all of us alone. And so in a little bit when we do our animal blessing, I want to call forward everyone who needs a blessing today. Our animal companions, but also ourselves. All of us who are a part of this interdependent web. And when I say a blessing, I say your name, and then I say, you are blessed, and you are a blessing. Reverend Anna Bladel wrote this week, "Blessed are you who are raging. Blessed are you who are mourning. Blessed are you who feel numb. Blessed are you who feel sick and tired and sick and tired. Blessed are you who refuse to turn away. Blessed are you who need to turn away. Blessed are you who keep breathing deep. Blessed are you who are tending to your own needs. Blessed are you who are tending to the needs of another. Blessed are you who have been calling and organizing and testifying. Blessed are you who have been listening and hearing. Blessed are you who feel broken open beyond repair. Blessed are you who are marching. Blessed are you who are weeping. And blessed are we when we stay tender, when we stay fierce, when we dare to imagine repair and transformation. Blessed are we when we labor together to make it so. Our place as humans in the whole of creation is a sacred place that comes with enormous responsibility. And the animals that we brought with us today are a piece of that, members of our family, part of our experience of love, part of what makes home, and part of this blessed relationship that we have with one another and with all of creation. So if you or your animal companion need a blessing today, I invite you to come forward. And if you can't make it forward, please raise your hand and I will come to you.